Hey everyone, as promised, I'm starting my Martha Beck documentary part 2. Where I'm standing right here is at the corner of Monroe and Connecticut Street in Milton, Florida, and directly across from here is her house. So come on, this is the house she grew up in, and it's actually for sale. This is where she grew up. This is where she was abused. This is where she was raped by her own brother. She was teased in school. And, I mean, it gives you no excuse to grow up and be a killer, but she had a hard life. Supposedly her daddy was the only person that loved her, but he couldn't even stand her own mother, so he ended up leaving. But she is buried next to him today, and we are going there today too. So come on, I'll take you around back. You know, take you around front. You can actually look in the window. Nobody's bought this house yet, and I interviewed a man one time that told me that squatters stayed here one time, and they swore that it was haunted. You can get the back of the house, Scotty. You want to go up the stairs? We can look through the back glass. Come on up. It's nice and clean. It's all been redone. I'm sure it didn't look like this back then. But if you can get a good close-up, maybe, I mean, it might be dirty.
I can't get it. It's just showing reflection. You'll probably have to edit it out.
It was worth a shot. Nice lock on the door. See if you can get it again here. Just put it directly to the window. Is it coming through?
That side is. Just right there.
Alright. Well, okay. We'll see you at the cemetery. Martha graduated high school in 1938, and then she went on to nursing school, where she graduated in 1942. So after she graduated nursing school, for some reason, because of the way she looked, they wouldn't give her a job, so she ended up working at a funeral home. So I really doubt that Martha really wanted to work at a funeral home as a career. So the first chance she got, she had an opportunity to work as a nurse out in California on a military base, I believe the Army. And it would be out there where she would get really promiscuous and sleep around. She got pregnant. And that's where her first child came from. And the man who got her pregnant actually tried to commit suicide. So she came back home to Milton, and she made up a bunch of lies, something about he had died in the war, and she was enjoying the sympathy. So eventually, Martha did get a job as a nurse in Pensacola, Florida, at the Pensacola Hospital. The photo you're looking at right now is the old Sacred Heart Hospital from a long time ago. You see all the nuns on the front lawn. It's a very historic hospital. and she ended up losing her job there because of after she met Raymond. Um, the nurses or I don't know, the staff was just totally against it, and they fired her for it. And I do have some footage, and I'm going to put that up. This is the old Sacred Heart Hospital, the hospital that Martha Beck worked at. And I'll have to go back and recheck my facts, but she graduated the top of her class, so she was obviously intelligent. She also lost her job here because of Raymond Fernandez. When he would come down to visit, he would distract her, and you know, this was a very strict hospital, a Catholic hospital, so the nuns, you know, they basically, I guess, you know, fired her or made her resign. But this is where she worked, and like I said, nowadays it's just a bunch of office buildings, but this is the location that she worked as a nurse. So this guy was an American-French actor that she would fantasize about. Something I learned, so I thought I would put it in here. Okay, everybody. This is the West Florida Railroad Museum. It's also the old train depot. And I can only speculate, but this has to be the place where they brought her body back and then buried her in the cemetery in the middle of the night in an unmarked grave. Probably because this town didn't want a tarnished reputation of a serial killer from here and buried here. Who knows? Because a lot of people really don't know of this story. People all over the nation, they've made movies, know about this story, but the people that live here either deny it or don't know. So this is the train depot. Just try to imagine them bringing her body by train. There's the train tracks. And then immediately taking her to the cemetery and burying her. And at the time, in an unmarked grave. It's no longer unmarked. But we're going there next. I just figured I'd start here before the cemetery because this is where a dead body was brought back after her execution. Okay, off to the cemetery. Say goodbye, Scotty.
Bye.
We're entering the historic Milton Cemetery. Where I'm going to show you where Martha Beck is buried. We're here at the historic Milton Cemetery, and we're going to do a walkthrough, but I'm going to show you where Martha Beck's grave is at, and let's go. You ready?
Yeah, we're recording. Alright, we're good.
Alright. Come on, everybody. I think I already said that, so I'll get that out. Okay, so we're on our way. Some nice, beautiful day, isn't it, Scotty?
Yep.
I would like to say something real quick. Can you stop real quick? I love cemeteries. I mean, no disrespect when I'm at a cemetery. I respect the dead. I would never exploit. If anybody thinks I'm exploiting something, I'm just telling a story. But there is a story to be told here. But first and foremost, I go to cemeteries all the time. I'm attracted to them. And like I said in one of my other videos, it's like some of these people don't have anyone to visit them anymore. So, do you have to visit graves? No, but I like it. It's peaceful. Nobody messes with you or talks back. That was a joke. All right.
Work.
Onward. Memorial. Looks like a veteran memorial. Donated by the family of Darrell G. Tompkins, 1st Marine Division, World War II and U.S. Army, for those who served. And I'd like to say thanks to our military. You guys rock. Alright, you can...
We're good.
Okay, let's go. It's a beautiful cemetery. The trees, the oak trees with the moss. It's very common around here. We're located about 30 minutes west of Pensacola. Most people know Pensacola. Matter of fact, I got footage from the hospital that she worked as a nurse, and after she met Raymond, she got fired because, you know, it was a Catholic hospital. I don't know why I did that. That implies it was Catholic. It was a Catholic hospital. As a matter of fact, it was called the Pensacola Hospital. She worked in the children's ward, but it was the old Sacred Heart Hospital. But anyway, I'll have that, you know, I've been there already, so. Just take in the you know, for a long time, I'm going to show you something. For the longest time, when I first got into making, you can keep on. When I first I looked for her grave. I must have came 5, 6 times, and we just happened to run into the caretaker here that day, and he showed us her grave. But just come on, and I'll tell you how the hell I couldn't find it. I don't know. Maybe because there's no actual headstone. It's just one of those little plaques, and you can barely even read it today. Even her father doesn't have a headstone. They have a slab, but not a headstone. So we're walking up on a road called Heaven's Gate. We're going to cross that road. You remember that cult, Heaven's Gate?
I sure do.
The Hell-Bop Comet. Hey, they got a new documentary out about it too, by the way. I can't remember. Maybe on Amazon or Netflix.
I think it's Amazon. I watched it the other night.
So while we're at it, we're pretty close to where the American Revolution soldier is buried. Let's go ahead and hit that one first. mama lattes. Cut. Okay, you can come a little closer. So, this is the grave of the Revolutionary soldier here in Snowden, 1765 to 1845. Now, what I heard or read about him is that he wasn't from here, but after the war, he decided to settle here. So, this is why he's buried here. And there's also a marker right down here. Pan down that way. It's just really neat to imagine. I mean, in the South, Confederate soldier graves are not hard to come by, and they're everywhere, but to have an American Revolutionary soldier buried here, and he's buried smack dab in the middle of the cemetery. Ah! I'll probably get edit that out. But yeah, he has a flag right behind him. So, pretty appropriate, huh? Okay, this is my family's plot in the cemetery. My father is buried here. My brother is buried here. He's also the father of the cameraman right now, Scotty. He passed away back in July. And the reason why I wanted to come here is previously I told you that I walked this cemetery looking for her grave, right? Well, she's actually just right down there to the left. This whole time, she was that near. So, you ready to go? You rolling?
Yep.
Like I said, turn left. This is her. This is her father. Martha Jules Seabrook Beck. I cannot see the dates, but I know the dates, I just can't think of them. 1950 something is when she was executed. I don't know when the father died. Can't read the dates on here, but this is Stanley Seabrook. And I know a lot of people have asked questions about what happened to her children, what happened to the rest of her family. I mean, she abandoned her children, they got adopted out. It's really hard to find any information on them. I think they don't want to be know who their mother was, even though it wasn't their fault. But this woman right here is not a good woman. I mean, she drowned a baby. And Scotty, if you look right behind you, what's really weird is a baby grave right there. Not the baby she killed, but still. I just kind of find it ironic. But this is where they came. In the middle of the night. Just imagine, in the middle of the night, in a cemetery, this dark cemetery. And they put her right here, and it went unmarked for so many years. It's only been like 9 years or so since the caretaker put some little markers here for their graves. So I doubt anybody from their family ever visits these graves, and to be honest with you, who would want to visit her grave? But she was a bad person. I know it's not good to talk about the dead, but we know what she did. And this is a woman laying in that grave, executed at Sing Sing prison in New York City, and brought back here on a train. So, but this is it. Cut. So when I see stuff like this and I'm in a cemetery, I assume it came from here. I don't know if this is the right grave, but everybody deserves flowers. Everybody gets flowers. This,
Okay.
This kid right here, the skateboarder, I believe it's him, went out to the road, he chased it, and he got killed. And then a few years later, they built a skate park and they put a statue up in honor of him. And this is him right here. Happened in 2003.
I was there for this one.
Rest in peace, man. This is Janet Faye, one of their first victims that they killed in New York. She's the reason why they left New York and ended up in Michigan and met up with their other victims, Delphine Downing and her toddler child, Renelle. So after Martha drowned Renelle in a tub of water, they both buried the bodies in the cellar or the basement. And what got the attention of the neighbors is that they hadn't seen them in a while. And so they called the police. And those two had the nerve to stay there for like, I want to say 2 weeks. And they were caught and apprehended in Michigan at the house of Delphine Downing. So they were busted, and they were extradited back to New York because at the time New York had a death penalty, and they wanted to see these two be electrocuted and get what they deserved. So the only excuse me, the only people, or the only person they went down for was Janet Faye. And then they were executed. So a lot of times they do that. I mean, if you study your serial killer history, if they've killed so many times, they may, have enough on them that they don't put, go to other states where they have a chance of, being convicted there as well, but not have the death penalty. And at the time, these two were sought out, and New York doesn't even have the death penalty today, but they did back in 1951. So these two were executed, and I really don't know where Raymond's body went. It's probably in my first documentary, but I just, you know, I know where Martha is, and unfortunately, the woman was from the same hometown as me. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video, and if there's anything I can answer for you that may not be in the video, I will do my best. But thanks for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe and like to this video. And I will see you the next time around.